Welcome to Stock Talk, where today we'll give an update on Microsoft, Tesla, Apple, and Robinhood stocks. I'm Mark Palmer, ex-financial professional, here to help you build wealth. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at MarkPWealth. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you understand that this is not financial advice, it's financial education. If you want advice specific to you, go find a financial advisor. Also, I'd really appreciate if you did an easy good deed for me, and that's to hit the like button on this video. Simple for you to do, but it really helps my channel out a lot, so thank you very much. This is the first ever episode of Stock Talk, and truth be told, it could be the last ever episode of Stock Talk. Maybe I'll scrap the name or I'll scrap the idea entirely. Only time will tell. Any feedback you have for me on Stock Talk or my YouTube channel in general, always welcome in the comments or DM me on any of my social medias. Really appreciate any feedback that you have. Without further ado, let's dive in. We'll go over 4 companies today and their most recent quarterly earnings report, as well as any forward-looking statements that they have made. First up, we have Microsoft. Here are the big numbers. Revenue increased 20% year over year and totaled $51.7 billion in the most recent quarter. Net income was up 21% year over year and totaled $18.8 billion. Analysts were expecting an adjusted earnings per share of $2.31, but Microsoft beat that, coming in with an adjusted earnings per share of $2.48. A recent highlight for the company was their largest acquisition in 46 years, acquiring Activision Blizzard, the maker of Call of Duty, for a total of $68.7 billion. This move clearly shows that they're trying to become the top dog when it comes to gaming, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with this going forward with the future of gaming and virtual reality gaming. Another highlight for the company, Microsoft Teams, a popular workplace communication app, now has over 270 million monthly active users. And let's not forget about everyone's favorite social media, LinkedIn, another company that's owned by Microsoft. They had a very great quarter with revenue rising 37% year over year thanks to strong advertising demand. Next up, let's talk about Tesla, who reported that vehicle deliveries in 2021 were up 87%. Their revenue for the quarter was $17.7 billion, which is a 65% year-over-year increase. Analysts estimated Tesla's adjusted earnings per share to come in at $2.36. However, Tesla posted an adjusted earnings per share of $2.52, beating the analyst estimates. Elon Musk mentioned that supply chain issues are going to restrict them from releasing any new vehicle models in 2022, and they'll instead focus on delivery of their current models for the year. He also mentioned that full self-driving vehicles remains one of their top priorities, and that there are currently 60,000 full self-driving beta vehicles in the United States. He explained that full self-driving Tesla robo-taxis will one day make the Tesla consumer car business look like nothing. He then went a step further and said that the Optimus Tesla human robot factory workers will one day make their robo-taxi business seem like nothing. This continues to be one of the most interesting companies to follow, and I can't help but say I'm excited to see what they do next. Moving on, let's talk about Apple. Year over year, they increased their revenue by 11%, totaling $123.9 billion, an all-time record for the tech giant. Their strongest growth came from their Mac sales, which brought in $10.85 billion, a 25% year-over-year increase for the quarter. Another big increase was in their services sales, which encompasses Apple TV Plus, Apple Music, Apple Fitness, iCloud, etc. They had an increase year-over-year this quarter of 24%, totaling $19.52 billion for the quarter. Every product line for Apple had an increase year-over-year in sales, except for iPads, which was down 14%. CEO Tim Cook accredited this to supply chain issues. Unfortunately, Apple isn't giving any forward-looking guidance. They haven't been for quite some time since COVID started, and they are saying that COVID still makes it too difficult to forecast what their future holds. The last company we'll discuss in this video is Robinhood. They had quite an interesting year last year, having a very controversial start to the year with essentially a meme stock war revolution going on right within their app. But they still went public last year, so we do get to hear about their financials. For the most recent quarter, they posted pretty disappointing earnings, having a higher loss per share than expected, as well as lower revenues than expected. They were also expected to have 19.9 million monthly active users on the app, but instead, they only posted 17.3 million monthly active users, which is actually a 1.6 million monthly active user decline from the prior quarter. When less people are using your app, people start to ask why. Their projected revenue forecast for the first quarter of 2022 is $340 million, which is actually quite a bit less than what Wall Street was expecting them to project at, which was $447 million, leaving quite a wide gap between the two. So overall, a pretty bleak report up to this point. But CEO Vlad Tenev, no idea if I said his name right, talked about an idea that he's hoping to have rolled out sometime this quarter, and that is hyper-extended trading hours. Right now, the stock market is open from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Robinhood allows trading 30 minutes prior to market open all the way through 2 hours past market close. So they already have some extended trading hours on their platform. He didn't provide details as to how much additional time users will be given to trade on the platform with this new feature. However, he is saying that this will be rolled out this quarter. Depending how much time Robinhood wants to extend their trading hours, they could need approval from the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, in order to do so. It will be interesting to see how this plays out and if it's able to help push Robinhood back into the positive spotlight and back into an increase in users. That's all we've got for today's Stock Talk video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you clicked that like button or that subscribe button, thank you so much. I can't explain to you how much that means to me. You keep me inspired to make this content, so I really appreciate you. Any questions that you have, please leave them in the comments below. Any feedback, please leave them in the comments below. If you'd rather reach out to me or connect with me, you can do so at Mark P. Wealth on Twitter or Instagram. Thank you so much again for watching, and we will see you next time.